and welcome back to the Your Golden Elevation channel. My name is Dr. Osa. So grateful to have you here on the channel today as we explore the next dimension of power, which is perception. And this video is actually another podcast. So we started off the series with a podcast instead of a video. And we're now a little bit beyond the midway point for this series, and we are going to explore this topic through a podcast as well, just because I wasn't able to get everything that I wanted together for a video, but I still wanted to get this content out. And also I just want to give you an update that tomorrow we will not have another video, although I was trying to post them every day. I had a change in my plans, and so the next video will be not tomorrow, but the day after. So once again, welcome. Just a few logistics I wanted to share. And again, this topic is on perception. And the three things that I want to talk about with regard to perception are three strategies or three main tips that I would like to discuss with you. The first one is check your assumptions. The second one is to tap into your inner power and feelings. And then the last one is to interrogate past experiences and bring this into the present. So let's talk about checking your assumptions. So perception, of course, is how we see things around us. We see our lives, we kind of perceive or kind of look into different circumstances and experiences around us. And I think it's an important part of power that we don't talk about enough. And in every situation that we may encounter, we will have some assumptions about what's going on in that environment or what went on in that relationship or how we, were, functioning in a certain environment. But a lot of times we are operating under a series of assumptions that we need to tear apart and really see what's true and what's not. So one example that you all have probably seen this video of a basketball team passing a ball to each other, on a little video that they're quickly passing a basketball to each other, and it's maybe about 8-10 people. And don't quote me on this because it's just a rough memory. And, before you watch the video, the person facilitating or just using that as an exercise will ask you to count how many times the ball was passed. And after the video ends, then the facilitator will say, okay, how many times did you see the ball pass? People usually got it, at least some folks in the room would get it right. But then they would say, okay, you got it right. They passed it, let's say 22 times. But did you see the brown bear or the black bear walk across the screen and do a dance? I'm sure a lot of us have seen that. If you haven't, definitely Google it. It'll be spoiled for you now. Sorry about that if you haven't seen it before. But that is really a great example of perception, because if we're looking for one thing or one outcome to focus on in our lives, and we're not looking at the full picture, or we are narrowly focused on measuring our success or our power by one indicator or one piece of evidence, then we lose the fuller picture. For example, in your personal life, you might focus or define how your success is, the degree of your success by your career only, or your family life, or your spirituality, when I see them all as sort of spokes on a wheel. So they all have an equal role in some cases to keep the wheel turning in your life. So think a little bit more about that as you think about how you perceive your life, how you perceive things that have happened in the past. As I said, tapping into your inner power and feelings, and just really thinking through how your emotions are tied to those limited perceptions as well. That's one thing I wanted to focus on with that second point, is sometimes we can perceive a situation and there might be injustice or there might be issues that need to be addressed, but at the same time our emotions can cloud our perception and create a limited view of what possibilities might exist. You know, there may be problems on our jobs, or in a certain relationship, but we can often overlook the positive attributes or the promise that does exist as well in weighing the pros and cons. And usually if we are skewing towards one perception, like seeing and counting how many times the ball is passed versus seeing the bear walk across the screen and do a dance, then we are missing a whole piece of the picture, and we need to just stop and pause and ask ourselves what might we be missing, and how can we address it. And then finally, bringing past experiences into the present, and that was an intentional third point that I wanted to make, because oftentimes we're told to leave things in the past, but our perception and our view and vision for where we're going, we do need to learn from our past and really think about some of the lessons that we've learned, accept the difficulties, and just let those go, forgive folks from our past, and decide what we need to release, and if we need to pursue additional support such as therapy or counseling. That's definitely helpful. I have done both of those myself, but really bringing those past experiences into the present allows us to know, okay, yes, some harsh and difficult things happened in my past, but there are a lot of positive things that I might have overlooked that I can bring into my present and maximize them. You might have had a situation that pushed you to your limits, but now you probably have a different perspective on that area of your life, and you could help someone else navigate those types of challenges, whether they were relationship challenges, marriage challenges, career challenges, whatever they might be, community organizing or community engagement. There's so many areas of our lives that we don't really tap into. We kind of think back to them with a bit of sadness sometimes and a feeling of regret, but we're often not leveraging those lessons and those insights that we've gained over a period of time in order to create a new life for ourselves. And that's exactly what we all do when we go through difficult situations and emerge on the other side. We have, in effect, created a new life and a new path for ourselves, and that's something to be celebrated. So thank you so much for joining me for this conversation. I would love to hear in the comments any insights about your own perception that might have come up as we discuss this topic, and what are some strategies or tips you would use moving forward to tap into your power through reconsidering your perception and making sure that you can see everything around you clearly and benefit from everything that you've been through. Stay golden, stay elevated, and I'll see you in the next video, not tomorrow, but the day after. Take care.